Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name's Max Rushden, and alongside me, Barry Glendenning for what is known as the OG warm-up, the original, brought to you with the good people of Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app, and like a coiled spring to deliver his hot opinions on the world of sport, it's Barry Glendenning. Welcome, Barry.
I'm more tangled slinky today, Max, than coiled spring.
Why so?
I just, I have opinions to offer on any sporting matter you care to fling my way. Mm-hmm. Ideally, football, because I haven't really seen much other sport this weekend.
I didn't have any big... But look, I mean, what we're saying from the outset, I think, Barry, is the listeners can hope for a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10 today. Yeah. That's the image. It will, to the untrained ear, it will sound like every other show we've done. But to the real, for the completists, for those of you that have listened to every single show we've done that can tell within seconds the quality of the broadcast, set your expectations at 7. You could be surprised. Like this could go great guns, couldn't it?
It could. Or it could be a disaster. We don't know.
No, we don't.
The beauty of live broadcasting.
Yeah, it's why I get a little spring in my step just before the show starts, thinking this could be either the greatest or the worst thing we've ever done. And I think that's the thing. That, Barry, is the thing that keeps me alive.
That and your beating heart Max?
We were trying to come up with an idea for the audience to get involved with the show today, and it was a quiet meeting, I think it's fair to say. The best that new producer Reese, we have a new producer Reese, you may know him from the footballer game, but now he has responsibilities.
Additional responsibilities, Max.
Yeah, of course. And we used to, with producer Andrew, we take Andrew's idea. Even if it wasn't good, then we could, in many ways, we could say it wasn't our fault. If the idea was bad, we were just the messengers for the idea. And Reese's best suggestion was, because Liverpool have lost 3 times in a week. What was the question? What's the worst thing you've done 3 times in a week? That's a terrible. That could go with the wrong audience. That could go south. It could go south and fast. But it's all we've got, Barry. I liked how windy it was yesterday, and we can't really just do how windy was it where you were. I've spent a lot of time watching. There's this goal from the League of Wales, I think it is. Have you seen it? I tweeted it out, and it's everything you could hope for in a very, very windy day, where a goalkeeper takes a goal kick, and it basically goes into orbit. It's going at the normal trajectory, and then it just flies absolutely vertical, and then it starts coming back towards the goal, and then one of his midfielders is trying to help out and heads it over him into his own net. Lovely. And it's the sort of thing you dream of as a football fan to go and see. But I don't have the question off the back of it, apart from, did your hat fall off in the wind yesterday?
I did see footage of some fellas, I think they were Americans, trying to play golf. I think it was Lahinch on the west coast, or possibly Ross's Point on the west coast of Ireland. Yeah. And they could barely stand. The wind was so strong, and one of them drove off into you kind of have to see the clip. It's like your Welsh football clip.
We're here to paint pictures with words. I saw Jason Manford putting on Instagram an aeroplane trying to land in Belfast and going down, 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 up.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want that. But you mentioned Lahinch. Here's a story. Have I told you this story? I mean, there's every chance.
I'd say it's a near story. If you're about to pull a good anecdote out of the bag, that didn't happen to you within the past 24 hours and that I haven't heard already, I will be astonished. But go for it.
But you can't remember off the top of your mind the Lahinch story.
No.
So I went on a stag do to Lahinch.
Right.
And it was during the Soccer AM glory years.
Okay.
And basically, as far as I can tell, the entire audience of Soccer AM went to nightclubs in Lahinch. Right? It's very strange.
I don't think I've ever been to Lahinch, so you've got one up on me there. It's County Sligo, isn't it?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
I think it's County Sligo.
But we were in a nightclub. We were in a nightclub, and this was before the last time I went to a nightclub, when I was punched by a girl who was dressed as a clown, but I'd been crying, so the tears had made her makeup run. But that's another story that you definitely.
I've definitely heard that one.
you know that
great
one.
Legs, repeatedly.
But I was there, and somebody recognised me, and that doesn't happen a huge amount. But then they refused to believe that everybody with me wasn't either a TV presenter or a footballer, to the point where one of my friends, Nick, had a 20-minute argument with the guy from Lahinch that he wasn't the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper.
Okay. Who was the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper? Was it Kevin Pressman?
Well, I don't think it was Kevin. He doesn't look like Kevin Pressman.
Right.
But I'm not sure if it was. In my mind, I presumed the guy thought he was Kevin Pressman. And it's important to say that Nick wasn't wearing
full Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper kit.
No, he didn't hoy in a penalty into the top left-hand corner. But we could do "When have you been mistaken for a footballer?" I mean, that works.
Would it be specifically Kevin Pressman or any top footballer?
I'm very happy to begin with "When have you been mistaken for Kevin Pressman?" And if the phone lines don't light up, then we can expand it. I think that's probably the most sensible way of doing this. So there's something.
I don't know who the current Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper is, but he had a hard time of it yesterday. I did see some of that game, right? And I think he let in 5, didn't he? Well,
here's a good quote from the Crawley manager. Cambridge beat Crawley yesterday 3-1 at the Abbey Stadium.
I saw that, yes.
May come up in guess the attendance, don't know. But afterwards, the Crawley manager, Scott Lindsay, and what is a great line for a great classic football manager line is, "We defended like schoolboys today. No disrespect to schoolboys." Is there a collective? Who's the schoolboy that can stand up and go, "None taken"? It's all right. Like, where do we go for that? So thank you, Scott, for delivering us that. If Barry is a coiled spring, says Jerry, I just hope the door spring closures on fire doors are not made from the same material. Just saying. But I mean, you make a good point, Jerry. They are important, but a slamming fire door, I'd quite like one of the slows that's, does the job, but just a bit more slowly. I'm meant to be on a diet, says Gaz. I've had 3 takeaways this week. They're the 3 worst things I've done this week. Dan says, Barry, hardly a 4 on a good day, and you're aiming for a 7 today. How very, very dare you? But it is Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning on the warm-up. It is the second biggest East Anglian derby after Cambridge Peterborough today at Portman Road. Ipswich, Norwich. Ian Abrahams is there. It's live on talkSPORT 2, by the way. Joe Shannon, Scott Minto, your commentary team. Ian Abrahams doing updates for us, and he has the team news. Hello, the Moose.
Hello, Ipswich haven't won this in 16 years, but surely today is the day. You would think so anyway. They're big favourites, and on the face of it, have a stronger side, although the manager, Kieran McKenna, has certainly made changes after their midweek draw. 6 in all. Kipre comes in for Greaves. Kandus comes in for Nunez, who's only on the bench after his move from Norwich. It'll be interesting to see what happens when he comes on. Smodics, Ngali, Philogene and Hurst replace McAteer, Akpom, Clark and Azon up front. As for Norwich, one change for them. Topic comes in for Marcondes, just behind the front man Josh Sargent. Should be a lively atmosphere, to say the very least. We start at 12 o'clock. Full commentary, as you say, is on talkSPORT 2.
And I mean, you say that Ipswich should win player for player, Moose. And you say, I mean, they say form goes out the window, but Norwich haven't won, unless you said this in your little bit that I was half concentrating on, they haven't won this game for donkeys years.
16.
It's 16, exactly. You were listening,
I
Barry.
was listening, Moose. I respect you, Moose.
I was sorry, Moose. I
much.
was reading a message about someone saying that he mistook a girl for Kevin Pressman. Now he's married to her, and she's a keeper. And so I was sort of considering. I was weighing up: do I finish after you finished with Ian's message, or do I leave it? And by that time, I thought I should throw you a question. Are you going to play the footballer game as well while you're here?
I mean, not right now. Unfortunately, work permits me from doing so, but I'm listening. Going to be listening avidly to the footballer game.
Okay.
Most definitely.
You can't multitask. You can't do Ipswich, Norwich, and.
It would be ridiculous if, for example, I was trying to guess a footballer who played for PSV Eindhoven 3 times and scored only once, and hadn't scored at all in 135 appearances for Hartlepool, and then suddenly missed that Josh Sargent volleyed in from 20 yards. I think our listeners, and I'm only putting it out there, would rather I concentrate on Josh Sargent from 20 yards than guessing who that footballer was. Who you may have forgotten
text
about.
topic. What do the listeners want the Moose to concentrate on? Any answers, please? 8:10:89. Thanks, Moose. He's there at Portman Road. We'll keep you posted on that one. We'll do a Premier League review next. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up.
Comes back in on his left foot, draws the ball down low to the left and produces a brilliant finish. And Tottenham Hotspur become the first team to beat Leeds United in a league game at Ellen Road in over a year.
Oh, we might have a penalty here. We have got a penalty here. Little shimmy, Saka steps up and of course he scores. Arsenal go top of the table at a canter. Arsenal 2, West Ham 0.
You know, he's going to have to drag this team, Nuno, kicking and screaming, I think, away from the relegation zone.
Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0. Goals in back-to-back games for Benjamin Šeško. Ruben Amorim's 50th game as Manchester United manager. He celebrates with 3 points.
We tried to make it sound good for the listeners, but I've watched under 6 games with more quality in the second half. I promise you that.
It's a winner for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1, and it's Esteban who has won it. Deep into stoppage time here. It's now 3 defeats in a row for Liverpool. At the start of the season, Liverpool love stoppage time, and at the moment it must be making them sick. They slipped to second in the Premier League table.
Yeah, good day of Premier League football yesterday, wasn't it? 4 pretty good games. So Sheffield Football has been in touch, Barry, to say when I was 8, I was having my haircut at the barber's. My brother was outside and shouted, "Kevin Pressman's outside the Happy Shopper." I asked Mum if I could go outside and get an autograph. Thankfully, the haircut was almost complete. I asked the barber for a Michael Owen. Consequently, I wasn't mistaken for an 8-year-old Kevin Pressman. Kevin had bought his kid some pick and mix. Oh. So I got lots of detail in there. I quite
Pressman flaunting his wealth by going to the pick and mix
yeah, absolutely
section.
Right. Yeah, a quarter of lemon bonbons, please. Yeah, and a half of lemon sherbets. That's how rich I am.
The current crop of Sheffield Wednesday players won't be at the pick and mix, will they? Because they haven't been paid yet this month.
Absolutely right. You're in trouble, Barry, as well. Many people have been in touch.
Many people have been in touch. I know what they've been in touch about. Lahinch is, of course, in County Clare. Ross's Point, the other golf course I mentioned, is in Sligo. I'm fairly sure, but I can't say anything with confidence anymore because I got the Lahinch thing wrong. Apologies to everyone in Lahinch, everyone in Clare, and everyone in Sligo.
Let's start Stamford Bridge then. Now, Neil Mellor was on the show yesterday, a friend of the warm-up family.
Yeah, I heard him.
He said he would panic when it's 6 straight defeats for Liverpool. So we are now 50% of the way to a Neil Mellor panic.
A Mellor meltdown.
That's the state the nation is currently in. What did you make of this game?
Well, first of all, before I get into this game, I'm really curious now. I didn't hear talkSPORT yesterday afternoon. What game was Troy? I'm trying to figure out what game Troy Deeney was talking about, that he said he'd seen more quality at an under-6 match than in the second half of whatever game it was. Is it Leeds Spurs?
No, I don't think.
Or Arsenal West Ham.
Maybe Arsenal West Ham. I don't know.
Because there weren't that many games yesterday. It might have been. Actually, it could be United Sunderland. There wasn't a great deal of quality in the second half of that match.
No, that's
or
true.
Indeed the first half of that match. Yeah, I'm going to say Man U Sunderland, but we'll find out in due
someone
course.
Can tell us. Someone can tell us in the office, can't they? Someone get the rotor up, would they, for Barry?
Anyway, yes.
Anyway, Chelsea-Liverpool. Your thoughts?
Well, I think when Liverpool were winning games without playing well at the start of the season, the general presumption, or certainly my presumption, was that they would start playing well and continue to win games. It didn't really occur to me that they would continue to play badly and start losing games, which probably seems, more natural. I'd be like Neil Mellor. Maybe if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd start to panic slightly after 6 defeats. But they certainly have issues. There's problems at right back. They've several players who aren't playing at all well, particularly well by their own standards. Mo Salah, Alexis McAllister, Ibrahima Konate, Florian Wirtz has yet to show us what he's made of. So they are certainly problems for Liverpool have to deal with. Their next game is at home to Manchester United, I think.
Is that their first one after the international
I think
break?
so, yeah.
Okay. Red Saturday or whatever they'll call it.
Yeah, this could be United's second in a row. I expect that game will probably be on a Sunday.
Yeah, probably. Well, look, it was a brilliant win for Chelsea, who are obviously impossible to work out. But Caicedo had a great game, and that goal is absolutely textbook. Smash it into the top corner. From where he's standing, it's perfect. It's sort of in the middle of the goal. It's still rising. The fingertip from Mamardashvili pushes it even further into the top corner. It kind of makes the goal fittings rattle a little bit. It's everything you want from a 25-yard screamer. So hats off to you, Moses Caicedo. I love that goal so much. And I think you're right. I think it is. I think it's really interesting. I mean, the issue for Liverpool, I think, is now that Arsenal are good, and hopefully no one remembers what we all said 3 weeks ago, or even last week when you were having that feisty conversation with Sophie Nicolau.
Well, hold on a second. What I said last week applied at the time.
That's fine. Things change in football.
Things change, yes.
Yeah.
So
things change in life and things change in football. You're right. But because Arsenal are so good defensively, like you heard Tony Cascarino saying, they'll just get clean sheets and get clean sheets. You'd think that Liverpool probably won't get that many. And actually, title-winning sides are built on good defences normally. It is a real shame that Salah didn't score after Florian Wirtz had just come on the pitch and did this absolutely ridiculous flick. You can see, and even if he never, ever plays brilliantly in the Premier League, you can see he is a brilliant footballer. Like, both things are possible, and he may well come good in a week or two or 10 or whatever. Exactly. It might. It took Bergkamp a long time, right? It took Bergkamp like a few months to get really good in the Premier League. And Florian Wirtz, you can just see like the vision and the technique to set Salah up like that is completely ridiculous. But Salah missed that one. He did miss a couple afterwards.
He missed that one. He missed a couple of trademark Salah goals where he cuts in from the level. I think one of them might have been offside, but he did miss two of them, and he had options available to him. But an unsung Salah generally scores that goal where he cuts in and curls it in inside the far post.
Yeah, completely.
But you could see the frustration of his teammates that he insisted on doing that. He put both of them a mile over, and yeah, he's just not playing particularly well at the minute. He will probably come good at some point, but we don't know.
The Sizzler has been in touch. Hey, the Sizzler. Always nice to hear from you. Is it a given that any goal from outside the area is 25 yards out? Yes, absolutely right. It may have been 20. It might have been 30. I don't know the exact distance, but 25 yards felt about right. So Chelsea have all these defensive problems. Achimpong gets injured. They bring on Jorel Hato. And I know they don't have more players. Do they have... I think everyone has to have the same number of players, right? You have to have a 25, don't you? Isn't that you name your 25, or is that just the Champions League?
Well, you have a named squad of whatever it is, 23, 25, and then you're allowed to have younger, homegrown people, I think.
Running
players
because they're just generating players now in a lab.
But Chelsea they're the first sort of big six club in years that 7 games into a season are constantly fielding players that I have never heard of. It's like, who's he? And this Hato guy, I've never heard of him. And this has happened to me a couple of times watching Chelsea this season, going, who's that guy? No, never heard of him. And then you go and look him up and Google and Wikipedia.
You find out they spent 80 million on him.
Yeah.
What do you make of Maresca being sent off for celebrating? I mean, it seems... I imagine...
Max. Don't care.
But I imagine he was out of his technical area. I mean,
he was slightly over it.
They've drawn like a really long sort of 100-metre line, sort of sprint, for him, 100-metre track. But
it's one of the great managerial runs, I would say. Bob Stokoe was probably the original and the best when he ran onto the Wembley pitch in 1973 wearing a Trilby hat, a brown overcoat and red tracksuit bottoms and black shoes.
Yeah.
It was quite a look. And
Pleat is up there. Pleat. I mean, is Pleat running or dancing?
A bit of both.
Okay.
Well,
Jose,
dancing counts. Jose, who else? But yeah, I mean, it's a yellow card, I suppose, and I don't care whether he got sent off or not.
But then he's not allowed to talk to TV, so we got Willie Caballero. Surely that's a prize. You shouldn't get a prize. Like, no manager wants to talk to TV. If you find out that if you get a red card late on, you're not allowed. You're not.
You don't
allowed.
have to do your pre-match media.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that bit where they go, "Pleased with the result." You know, like there's nothing you can say or can't say in those that's sort of worth any. They're sort of necessary but unnecessary things. I thought putting Malo Gusto in midfield was a sensible move, or it seemed to work. I hadn't ever considered that that's something you could do with Malo Gusto, but it worked until the injuries rejigged things for Chelsea. But anyway, great win for them, and disappointing for Liverpool. And that's all we'll do for this bit, and we'll do the other 3 games in just a second. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up. Morning all, Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you until 1:30. The latest episode of talkSPORT Daily is available now as Phil Foden's former coach Steve Eyre joins Rory Jennings and Harry Symeou to explain why we've seen Foden's dip in form and some of the off-field reasons behind it. You can find it on all podcast platforms as well as the talkSPORT app now. We've had a little bit of feedback, Barry.
Oh, have we? Positive or negative?
Says, well, you can be the judge. Ryan says, just to continue the Barry pile-on, the windswept golf course was Ballybunion, which is in County Kerry. Hashtag coiled spring. Matt saying Barry's in-depth recollection of Bob Stokoe's attire in 1973 contrasted with the absolute zero awareness of Chelsea's 35 million defender Gerald Hatter side this summer is hilarious. It's hilarious, combined with the gif of Abe Simpson walking in and out, hanging his hat on a hook and then putting it back on his head. And Matt says the irony of you bemoaning the Moose's lack of multitasking skills, Max, when you can just about task is staggering. Thank you, everybody. To Ellen Road, Leeds 1, Tottenham 2. Big win for Spurs, this, I think, Barry. Not playing brilliantly, but kind of rugged and determined and all wet and covered in wind, if you take my point. And getting a win that they... I'm not saying anything about Ange, because I love the guy. Won't hear a bad word said, but they arguably may not have got last season.
Yeah, it's probably a game they'd have lost last season. I didn't think they were at all convincing, to be honest. I thought Leeds deserved something from the game. And, but it's a good away win at a famously difficult place to go. It's the first time Leeds have lost in Ellen Road in over a year in the league, any league game, Championship or Premier League. And you would not have put your Abe Simpson tit for on Spurs to be the team to break that run, but they did. So I suppose they deserve credit for that. But I wasn't particularly convinced by their performance, but they did enough.
No, but they haven't actually been good for a while. So is this like Liverpool, a sort of lower level Liverpool? You know, they're getting results. Like they got draws against Bodo and Wolves without playing well at all. They got this win without, they did some good bits and some not very good bits. So you can either draw this as this is the sign of a really resilient team, or in a few weeks they'll just be mid-table.
Well, I think if you're putting them in the same bracket as Liverpool, that's probably your first mistake.
Well, no. I mean, it's a different bracket. It's the same issue in a different. It's very much the first analogy is the GoBots to the Transformers. If you see what I mean.
Well, I think they absolutely stole that point at Bodo Glimt during the week. They were so lucky to draw that game.
Yeah.
And Bodo Glimt were delighted to get their first Champions League point, a point from their first Champions League game at home, but they should have won. They should have won comfortably. That was an act of robbery by Spurs in the Arctic Circle. Also a difficult place to go, yeah. I imagine. I haven't been there, but yes. But the weather was probably worse at Leeds. In fact, it was worse. But if I was a Leeds fan, I'd be happy enough with that performance, even though they lost. And that's all I have to say on that.
No, that's fine.
Really.
I did like, as you saw, Matthias Tell, who I'm yet to be convinced by, but I was pleased that he scored. You could see Caldalo sort of mouth something like, oh no, because of the deflection. He's diving. He's going, oh no. Dominic Calvert-Lewin missed some big chances. I mean, that's happened before, hasn't it? Vicario made a couple of good saves. Udogie had a pretty good game. People lost their minds, didn't they, when Okafor scored and there was an inflatable ball on the pitch, and desperately harking back to Darren Bent and the beach ball.
Yes.
Like, here, look, an inflatable ball, as if we've never seen an inflatable ball before in our lives. And
aren't all balls inflatable, Max?
I don't think a snooker ball is inflatable.
Well, I meant all
you might know better than me. Okay, well, it wasn't a football, was it?
Yes, it was. It was an inflatable football.
Well,
just happened to be lighter and bigger than the inflatable football the players were playing with.
If the question is, are all inflatable footballs inflatable? Yes. If the question is, are all balls inflatable? No. Anyway, it reminds me, Soccer Aim came up with this terrible idea for a feature called Fantiques Roadshow. Good name, but bad feature. And I got a train to Sunderland to interview the man who had the beach ball. And I interviewed the man who had the beach ball. And it turns out he had the beach ball. So that was the feature. It was some pretty terrible television. And Kudus has started the season really well for Tottenham. So well done. But you're right. I think Leeds could have got something from this game. But still, a win is a win. Arsenal 2, West Ham 0. Pretty routine in this one, wasn't it?
I don't think you're going to see a more straightforward win. Very routine. And Arsenal fans will be delighted with that. Arsenal in the last week have beaten 3 sort of bogey teams in Newcastle, Olympiacos, and now West Ham. So that's good. Is it a sign of increased mental fortitude, or is it just a sign that they're much better than Benfica, or not Benfica, Olympiacos and West Ham, and slightly better than Newcastle? I would say probably more the latter.
Is it because Mikel Arteta's brought the fighter pilots to the... Has he done that? Has he brought them to the training ground yet?
I
to improve
don't know.
The communication of the Arsenal team? Because when you're a fighter pilot, you have no time for waffle. We couldn't be fighter pilots, Barry.
No.
Because by the time we'd had the conversation about where the enemy were, they'd have shot us down. But so that's why Arteta wants fighter pilots to improve communication.
If you were a fighter pilot, Max, what would your call sign be?
It would be...
Maverick?
No, I don't think so.
Goose?
It would be probably like woke libtard. Although, and I have told you this before, my eyesight is so good I could be a fighter pilot.
Really?
You couldn't because you wear specs.
Yeah.
But I have better than 20/20 vision. At least I did when I had my eyes tested for a local radio feature about 20 years ago. They may have declined, but yeah, it was 20/10 or 10/10 vision or something like that.
20/20.
You know, no, you can get better than 20.
Oh, really?
Better than 20. So when they put the little board up, and I could read like the terms and conditions at the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, it means you can be a fighter, but I don't really like war or flying too much. So I decided not to do that. Big miss by Eze, and then I thought Declan Rice had done exactly the same thing, but the ball went in, as people saw. Bit of a worry about the Odegaard injury. It's a shame for him because he looked so good, especially against Olympiacos. He was absolutely brilliant, wasn't he? First Premier League player ever to be subbed in the first half, 3 successive games. Which, when in 20 years' time, they'll be like, God, he was having a terrible time. There'll be no accounting for the fact he got injured in, I think, all the games. Although Zubimendi, as they point out, match of the day, coming on, allowed Rice to push forward, which is where he got his goal from. Do I have any other thoughts?
Rice.
West Ham tried... Yes.
Sorry,
what did I say?
No, I was just going to ask what you made of Rice's non-celebration celebration out of respect for fans who barracked him whenever he went to take a corner.
Dan says, who is this Irish presenter? He's so rude. I'm an Arsenal fan. His attitude towards Spurs was shocking. He's also so rude to the other presenter. Get rid of him. I mean, we can't do it immediately, Dan. But anyway, I'll see what we can do. Could you stop being so rude to me, Barry?
I apologise, Max, for my rudeness, and I apologise to Tottenham Hotspur for my rudeness to them as well. Where I'm often rude to you, I wasn't intentionally rude to Spurs, but...
Anyway, I thought his non-celebration was vague enough to actually be better than a real performative non-celebration. I would say it's the perfect non-celebration in that he didn't hold his hands up and pray to the fans. He just went, "Yeah, I've scored. It's fine. I know. I played for you for ages. I thought it was very, very good." I thought it was West Ham tried to shore things up by bringing Steve Potts on in the 61st minute. He's 58 years old. I mean, that's an air of desperation inspiration, if you ask me.
I think you'll find it was Freddie Potts, Max, and he is Steve Potts' son.
He is, yeah. I know, I checked.
I didn't know
it didn't
that
stop me doing this. It didn't stop me doing the Steve Potts joke, which, if you'll allow me to do, now Manolo Gabbiadini is no longer in the Premier League. I need someone to do that joke for, and so I'm going to do it for Freddie Potts. Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0. Strong thought. Manchester United are back, Barry.
Yes, aren't they just? Yeah, this game has cost me a haircut.
Oh, wow, okay.
So my barber is a Manchester United fan. I'm a Sunderland fan, and we agreed last time I got my haircut, which is about 5 weeks ago, which means I'm due another one, that if Manchester United won this game, I would pay double for my next haircut.
Right.
And if Sunderland won, I would get a free haircut. So my haircut in this place costs £22, so it's now going to be £44 for my next haircut. But the option is available to just find a new barber.
Well, or...
But I am a man of honour, Max.
You are. But what you could do is wait maybe 15 years and then turn up like that Man United fan.
I won't go for my next haircut until Manchester United win 5 games in a row.
But do you know what? I saw a clip, and he's a funny guy, and I saw a clip of some Man United fan being really angry with him because clearly you're not allowed to, enjoy yourself.
But not just being really angry, like he battered him, didn't he? Assaulted him.
He tried to, and you just think, oh man alive, some people was just poor guy. And he's got a lot of hair as well, so it's quite easy to, it's sort of in the sort of Cucurella spectrum of it's quite easy to pull his hair. So anyway, leave him alone. He just said a thing, he's doing a thing. It's just a bit of fun. But look, it was a good win for Manchester United. Traore had a massive chance, didn't he? 3 minutes.
Well, that would have made things interesting because
it would have done.
If United had gone a goal behind at home to Sunderland after 3 or 4 minutes, we could have had a whole different ball game. But I'm still not sure quite what he was trying to do, but it was a complete miss kick and a brilliant opportunity to score. He really should have scored, and he didn't. But a pretty comfortable win for United. I'm not sure how much you can read into it, but yeah.
They needed it, didn't they? Mason Mount, everyone likes Mason Mount.
Everyone likes Mason Mount. I keep forgetting he plays for United because he plays for them so infrequently that anytime I see him starting or coming on, I go, oh yeah, Mason Mount plays for United.
Yeah. But a lovely first touch, nice finish. The return of the long throw. How do you feel about the return of the long throw?
I'm a big fan of the long throw. I have been since, I suppose, Dave Challoner at Tranmere was my first sort of exposure to the long throw. Then obviously Rory Delap.
It's like your first kiss.
Yeah.
Andy Legg for me. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah. And after this game, Ruben Amorim described it as a very adult performance. Now, if you hadn't seen it, you'd think, ooh, top shelf. What was going on?
Yeah.
Fruity.
Yeah. It was an adult
I want
game.
to see that.
Mark in London's been in touch. Why is Arteta getting pelters for the fighter pilot comment still when that took place 2 years ago? I'm sorry, I didn't realise it was 2 years ago. It's also well known in sport that military advice on leadership, teamwork and communication is taken. England rugby before 2003 went on Royal Marines training, and that worked well for them. Thank you, Mark.
I don't think we gave him pelters. We just mentioned it as something he'd said.
It was an observation. Yeah. Anyway, if you can get yourself up to Jarrow, I'll cut your hair for free in exchange for a couple of anecdotes about the Munich incident and your famous diving header. David, don't cross the streams, David. Anyway, it is especially not in Munich. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up until 1:30. Lee Phelps will join us in just a second. Morning all, Max Rushden, Barry Glendenning with you until 1:30. Thanks to Chris for checking if Andy Legg was my first kiss. No. Mowazowski says, would Barry's call sign be Bagpuss? he was a fighter pilot. Please tell Barry that sponge footballs are not inflatable, says Mike, the Palace fan. And Lee says, stop harping on about that Traore chance. The lad crossing it was 3 yards offside. I think everyone's quite combative.
Yes.
This is what's happening to the nation. But, I don't think we were harping on about it. We just mentioned. You know. If you want to hear harping on, we can do that. But I don't think we were. Anyway, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. The latest big trade deals. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Let's look at the latest odds ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Lee Phelps joins us. Morning, Lee.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How's the last man standing? It's all sort of results as expected, I guess, so not a lot of change.
Yeah, so we had about just over 8,000 players left in the original, the £500,000 Final One Standing that we started at the first day of the season, remember. And a lot went with Bournemouth. As you said, look at yesterday's results. Man United winning, Tottenham winning, Arsenal winning, got a lot of people through. But 53% of the picks this weekend have gone with Aston Villa. So there's still a lot of people relying on that result. And Newcastle account for probably another 10% as well. So there's still a lot going into today. We've launched another £200,000 jackpot game as well, which will kick in on the first set of Premier League fixtures after the international break. So you can get involved with that now, whether you're in the other games, whether you've never played at all, whether you've been knocked out this weekend, you can play that 200k game as well. So yeah, there'll be a few nervous people in that big £500,000 one who are hoping Villa do win today against Burnley.
And look, lot of Premier League games today. I forgot the ability to talk. Lots of Premier League football today.
I get the message.
Broadcasting for 20 years. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get the general.
Thanks so much, Lee. Thanks.
Well, it's interesting looking back on yesterday. Now, Arsenal are odds on to win the Premier League title now, just a touch of odds on, 10 to 11. But, as Liverpool drift and have lost those consecutive games, now Arsenal, as you guys have been saying, have been getting the job done themselves. So Liverpool drifted out to 5 to 2, Man City are 9 to 2. Obviously, Man City play today as well. I think yesterday wasn't a great day in terms of results for us, with a lot of the favourites winning. And you look at today and you think it could be very similar, couldn't it? Like, I think Newcastle at home to Forest, we know what's happening with Anglian at Forest. They're not flush with confidence. Obviously, they've both had European games, but Newcastle a bit more time to prepare. I think, with Voltemada in the form that he's in, we've got an epic boost around Voltemada, actually. For Nick Voltemada to score or assist, it should be odds on. We've boosted it to even money, and you get impact sub with it as well. So if Voltemada goes off without having scored or assisted, the player coming on carries your bet on. I think that's an interesting one. I think Newcastle probably win that. Villa at home to Burnley. I think Villa found that we talked about it last time. If they could find their goals, then they're a danger, and they found 3 of them. Not a full season's worth, but so I think they'll probably have too much for Burnley in that game as well. I think City probably win at Brentford. Not as easy a game, I'm not making out that's an easy one going to Brentford, but Foden's got a brilliant record there. So if you're looking at a bet builder on that game, then I think Phil Foden should be involved in it. I just think it's one of those for we've got a bet and get on Football Hackers today. So if you have a football accumulator, you get a free one to use on your football as well. So I think there's quite a few. Look around Europe, Celtic are playing at a short price. Rangers have been getting a bit better. They could win today. Falkirk in the William Hill Scottish Premiership. And then you look around Europe, there's a load of short price favourites. So I think the traders are a little nervous about that. But looking forward to all those games. It's also at Longchamp, it's the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe day. So we've got extra places there with our new Each Way Extra promotion, and of course NFL later on tonight as well. So loads of markets on the NFL and a bet and get on the Accas for your American football as well. So plenty going on. Can't wait for it all.
Yeah, good stuff. How's the goals show going, Lee? Have you become the Paul Merson of talkSPORT?
I'm not sure if that's something that I could ever achieve in my broadcasting career. Definitely not footballing career, but very good. Yeah, the games yesterday, as you described, they were a little bit Arsenal, it was just the easiest. You need goal. You need lots of debate and lots
jeopardy,
of goals.
don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were looking for a West Ham goal, and they didn't really try and do that. I thought Sunderland, Barry, were very good. If things had gone differently in the first few minutes, and that chances converted.
We're not allowed to harp on about that. We've already been criticised.
I heard the call just before I came on. Great, really enjoyable. Great to be involved.
Good stuff. Thanks, Lee. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
That was the latest odds brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. Gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Christopher has been in touch, Barry. He
Yep.
says, can you tell Barry that planning a haircut every 5 weeks is impossible to plan? It never falls on the same week in the month, and worse, occasionally a month will be completely missed. Unprofessional.
I can't do right for doing wrong this morning, man. I mean, it started when I misplaced Lahinch Golf Course.
It did, yeah.
And it's gone quickly downhill ever since. And we still have an hour and 35 minutes to go. Think of all the things I could get wrong in that time.
Yeah, but I think you could. I presumed you might stick to your guns by saying you can get your hair cut every 5 weeks just by getting your hair cut every 5 weeks.
Well, yes, that too. And I don't have a strict hair cut itinerary as such.
Right, okay.
You just kind of know when you need a haircut, and it tends to be about every 5 weeks.
I do it myself quite often.
I know. Well, I guessed, I mean.
How dare you? Those looking on the smart TV, what do they think if I go right up close? You wouldn't, and it's harder to hear, but you wouldn't know if you looked at this that it was a man-made, a sort
Do you do it yourself? Is it just with the clippers, or do you use the scissors?
I get a grade 6 first, and I go all over my head. And then I go grade 2 sides. Okay. And then when I get sort of the tricky bit is the sort of, so you don't have a Friar Tuck type affair, So then I get a grade 4. Yeah, then you sort of grade 4 it a bit around the sides and the back. And then you get Mrs. Rushden to just tidy up the back.
So you're not doing it yourself. This is like childcare. When you were looking after your son on your own, and it turned out you'd actually got Josh Widdicombe's nanny to help you out.
Well, that isn't. No.
I cut my hair on my own, except the bits my wife cuts for me.
What I'm saying is I don't always go to a hairdresser's.
Right.
Because the one nearest me, the lady who does it, just won't stop talking.
Right.
And
what you need to do, Max, is when you sit down in the chair and she says, mate, how would you like your haircut?
She's Iranian, so it doesn't really, that's not accurate. But yes, good try.
So when she says,
I'm banking on the fact she's not listening. It's a very low chance.
When she asks you how you would like your haircut,
please don't do the accent. Yeah,
you just say in complete silence.
Right. Yeah, but I'm too polite for that. Okay. I can't do that. The NFL's back in London. talkSPORT 2 will bring you live commentary of all 3 games in the series. Starting today as the Cleveland Browns, come on the Browns, take on Minnesota Vikings at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. talkSPORT 2 will bring you all the build-up from 2 o'clock. Will Gavin, NFL Daily's Greg Rosenthal, and former NFL scout Ollie Connolly on the call. You will also be able to see the team if you head to talkSPORT USA YouTube channel. They'll be hosting a live watch-along from the stadium. That is the Cleveland Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings on talkSPORT 2 today from 2. Listen on your DAB via the talkSPORT app, or simply ask your smart speaker to play talkSPORT 2.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across the social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good afternoon, this is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. We'll look ahead to all of today's Premier League games with Marcus Speller from the Football Ramble, Goals Show regular on the talkSPORT YouTube channel as well in just a second. Amin has been in touch. All haircuts are man-made. Max, please get it right. What's happening to this show? Matt says, as a huge Max fan, I was jotting down his instructions to get the authentic Max Rushden haircut. Devastated when he revealed he'd lied and that Mrs. Rushden does it. Angry. Look, she just tidies it occasionally. Sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she just tidies up the back. That's all I'm saying. But I understand. I apologise. Matt Lloyd says, Dear Barry, what about double or nothing with your barber? If you win, you get a haircut for free. If you lose, you have to pay double. And Max picks a Premier League footballer hairstyle for you to have. Hugo Ekitike, please, for this one. And then every 5 weeks, I'll give you a different one. And Lee's been in touch, and this is nice because he was the one who told us for harping on about the Traore miss.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys, I feel bad now. I didn't mean you two specifically. The station in general, you've all said it and not looked at the linesman or the lad offside. So we accept that sort of apology, and it's the best we've got.
I'm not accepting it. I'm still not convinced it was offside. Did the linesman put his flag up?
Apparently, someone else said that.
Okay.
But we'll have to... Someone check the tapes, please, and tell us. Someone objective. Anyway, Marcus Speller joins us. He was watching all the games yesterday. I think he was doing the goals show from the Football Ramble. Hey, Marcus, you okay?
Very well. I had a haircut on Friday, can you believe, gentlemen?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's as if I knew this chat was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, well, you look great.
Thank you very much. I kind of agree with Barry. You kind of know.
Is your barber a Bournemouth fan? And if so, did you have a bet on him that you're now going to have to pay double for your next haircut?
No to all of that.
Okay.
Did you, when you were watching the Traore miss for Sunderland, did you see someone was offside? Because we're getting told off for harping on about that miss and that it would have changed the course of the game. Because goals change games, Brian, as you know. But was he offside? And then we'll stop banging on about it.
I'm not sure he was offside. I kind of agree with Barry on that one.
I don't think he was offside. Anyway, I'm going to have to check when I go home.
We are. There's no way of us checking it now. We're doing a radio programme. We'll check it when we're off air. Hey, lots of games today in the Premier League, Marcus. Which one piques your interest the most? Let's start there and work down until the one you find least interesting.
Okay. Crystal Palace have been great this season, have they not?
Yes.
So I think Palace away to Everton is a lovely fixture. Admittedly, I wouldn't say it's going to be laced with goals, but you might get a sprinkling of goals in that one. But Palace on the road have been very good. They're an exciting team, and I know it's early days, Max, but are they in the title race?
Wow.
I just want to dangle that question there.
Right, I see. Well, you can't rule them out mathematically.
Not at this stage.
Yeah. So is the sky the limit for Crystal Palace, or is 7th the limit, or is what's the limit, please?
Yeah,
Marcus?
Europa League is certainly achievable because you win the Europa Conference League. They are favourites for it, so you get into the competition that way. In terms of finishing, what would it be, 6th, maybe 7th in the table this season, then possibly. But their best way to the Europa League would be to win the Europa Conference League, and that way, the whole debate of do you care about European football or trophies and all the rest of it, you get the best of both worlds. But I'm intrigued of them going to Everton because Everton, of course, under David Moyes, has been a much steadier ship. They've got a nice shiny new stadium, etc., etc. Jack Grealish, not back in the England squad, has been impressive so far this season. So I think that's quite a nice... I say Palace are obviously the team more in form, hence they're further up the table. But a good clash, I think that'll be in Liverpool.
Yeah, what have you made of Everton this season, Marcus? Because a couple of games they've won, I thought they possibly didn't deserve to win. And then the other night against West Ham, they did deserve to win, but only got a draw. So I didn't have high hopes of them before the start of the season. I predicted they'd get relegated. Lots of Everton fans were very cross with me for predicting that, as if I have some influence on the outcome of the season. I do love
that. If people could get... How dare you suggest something may happen in the future?
But, and I'm still not convinced they're going to be anything better than sort of resolutely mid-table at best. So, yeah, what have you made of them?
I would kind of agree. I think that mid-table... that kind of mid-table obscurity as fans of top-level clubs kind of sneerily call it, I think would be a good achievement for Everton. I mean, you look at the last few seasons, it's been a bit mad there, and Moyes was brought in to steady the ship and make sure that they didn't have the best stadium in the Championship, for crying out loud. So I think they've started all right. I think that Everton have not had that many kind of flair players over the years, and if they have, then they've had a few injuries and they've not kind of really shown their best. So when Grealish goes there, it captures the imagination. I think Dewsbury Hall's put in a bit of a shift as well so far this season. They've got a few others in Jai's, got a bit of quality and so on. And I think we've just seen a few flashes of, dare I suggest, flair play or a little bit of something. And maybe your average Premier League fan doesn't associate that so much with Everton. So you think, oh, blimey, get a load of them. That was a step over, dare I say. So I think that, you look at them, they're 10th. What are they? What, 8 points after 6 games? Yeah, again, they will be a difficult team to beat. I wouldn't have thought that they would hammer too many teams this season. I wouldn't have thought that they would bloody the nose of too many of the bigger sides, but I think they'll do okay. And I think that, if you offered Everton 10th position right now in this early stage of the season, bite your hand off. And that's absolutely, no disrespect at all. To be the 10th best team in England is no mean feat, even though a lot of people might think it is, who support the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. So, yeah, I would kind of agree with you, Barry. I'd have them in there, but that would be an improvement and a platform to build on, although with a lot of teams post Moyes, however long you'll stay there, do they build on it? I don't know.
I'm not saying I'd have them in 10th. I'm saying that's the best they can hope for. I still think they might go down. But
you still say okay? Yeah. I don't think there's any danger of them going down this season. No way.
Yeah, we are in this really weird situation of neutrals actually looking forward to watching Everton games, which is not a position I've been in for a very, very long time.
It's the Jack Grealish factor, surely.
Totally. With Ndoye as well, and
with a few others,
I agree with you. I think Palace's run is great. And we'll talk to Kevin Day in a bit. I imagine he will say it'll be typical of Palace to go on this amazing unbeaten run and then lose at Everton. I think Marcus Forrest's trip to Newcastle is fascinating because of Postecoglou, to lose to Midtjylland, and another one of those. It was amazing, a 3-minute interview where he looked at the floor and then just said, "The lads have just got to keep their heads up." And you were like, I'm really enjoying this, but I just have such a soft spot for Ange for so many reasons. The Australian connection and the him getting Tottenham a trophy, but he does need something, and this is not an easy place to go and get your first win.
No, exactly. I mean, when they played the Midtjylland men, it was really, that was the one, wasn't it, for Ange to get something on to get that first win. I mean, I still go back to those Marinakis quotes when he appointed Ange and he said, well, he speaks Greek. When he won the Europa League, it promoted Greece. And I was like, that sounds like a couple of red flags there. Why have you appointed this man? I mean, it seemed a bit of a crazy one in terms of the tactical shift between Nuno and Ange, of course. But we have seen that before in clubs. So, okay, not every manager's going to play the same way, but he started very badly, as you've said. Going away to Newcastle is not really what you want. Eddie Howe's men will sniff out this situation very well and very clearly, and I can't see anything other than a Newcastle United victory here, because Newcastle themselves getting 4 goals in midweek against Union Saint-Gilloise, if that's a correct pronunciation, which I doubt it is.
Yeah. I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm improving.
Très bien, mon pigeon.
So I think Eddie Howe's men could get a few more goals, and I think that they've had a bit of a funny start to the season. Newcastle down in 15th, 6 points from 6. It's not what they would have wanted today, surely. Max, 3 points for Newcastle United.
Yeah, I felt very sorry for Ange, I have to say, when he was getting absolutely pilloried by the Forest fans during the Midtjylland game and towards the end of it. He seems to be on a hiding to nothing already. The one sort of glimmer of hope I would give him is that I don't think Forest have been terrible during... I haven't seen all of the games. I didn't see the Swansea game where they got knocked out of the League Cup.
Yeah, should have won that one. Definitely should have won that one.
They should have beaten Sunderland. I mean, they were very unlucky not to beat Sunderland, I thought. And I say that as a Sunderland fan. Newcastle have blown very hot and cold. Now, they were mightily impressive, I thought, against Union Saint-Gilloise during the week. But I think what will show us where Newcastle are heading this season is whether or not they can back that up with another good performance, because they're struggling, I think, to put good performances together. So I wouldn't be as down on Forest's chances today as you are, but it is a difficult one, all right, when you're desperate, so desperate for a win. Because I think if Ange could get a win today, it would make such a huge difference going into the international break. Like, massive.
Yeah, it would change everything. What about Brentford, Man City, Marcus?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can remember Brentford beating Man City under Thomas Frank, of course. Can they do it today? Brentford, I think, have done okay. I think they're a side who a lot of people had down as one of the Premier League teams that the promoted sides will try and reel in and get into a relegation scrap. But I think, the signs that they've shown a little bit. Yes, Brentford may still be looking over their shoulder a bit in the weeks and months to come, but I think they've been okay. I think, with Jordan Henderson going there, for example, people thought that's a bit of a funny signing, but the leadership he brings, and he's done pretty well so far. I think that could be priceless for Brentford in the end. Man City, currently 8th. I'd say Man City are the 3rd best side in the league. When you kind of look at the squads and so on, I don't think Man City are going to bother the title this season. I firmly think it's between Liverpool.
As in, they're not gonna just, they just can't be bothered, or they're just not gonna be good enough.
Yeah, I hope for Man City fans it's the latter rather than the former, because that would be a genuine disgrace. But I think I see the title firmly between Arsenal and Liverpool this season. I think under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, the glory days are over, quite frankly. I wondered if Pep was going to leave in the summer. I wonder if he'll leave this summer. But to be fair, a few people have been wondering that every summer. So, at some point he will move on. But I don't see Man City getting back to those dizzying heights that Pep got them to. And again, that is not a criticism. He produced some of the best football we've ever seen under there. So this is your archetypal tricky game away from home. It's at the G-Tech, isn't it? As I quickly check, and yes, it is. I think this, unlike Everton versus Palace, I'm expecting goals in this one. I suspect Man City will score the odd goal more than them, but I think this will be a very entertaining game at 4:30 today.
Good stuff. Hey, thanks for coming on, Marcus. Always nice to chat.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
Marcus Speller there from the Football Ramble, regular on the Goal Show as well, which you can watch on the talkSPORT YouTube channel every Saturday afternoon. Of course, the Sunday session will keep you posted. Or maybe it's called GameDay Live now. I should check. Villa, Burnley, Everton, Palace, Newcastle, Forest, Wolves, Brighton and Brentford, Man City. We'll give you team news for all the 2 o'clock kickoffs, and we'll play the footballer game next. Adam Bridge joins us, Matt Jones and Perry Groves. A 5-way in the footballer game coming up in just a second. Regards me suggesting a hairstyle for you every 5 weeks, Barry. Stephen says, Barry with the Mudrick. What a reason to watch next week on YouTube. Anyway, let's play the footballer game. Joining us today, there's 5 players, 6 sides, isn't it? Perry Groves is at Villa Park today. Hey, Perry. Hello, Perry Groves.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Are we a quintuple then?
Yeah. It's a quintuple footballer game. You feeling confident? I mean, not that confident, clearly.
Perry's been very sparing with...
Stunned into silence.
Keeping his chat for later.
I hope he's going to do a little bit more once we're off air. Otherwise, it's going to be presenting uphill for Sam Matterface if Perry's just doing the one-word answer. Let's see if the other competitors are slightly more lugubrious. Adam Bridge is at Molyneux for Wolves. Everton. Hey, Adam.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
It's not Wolves Everton, isn't it? Because Everton are playing Palace.
No, it's Brighton. But, I thought I'd let that ride, Max. No one would have noticed. No one would have noticed.
Yes, our audience aren't in any way nitpicky or critical.
To be fair, you're allowed to get criticised if you get the wrong game. I think, the levels, that talks what levels. You well, Adam? You looking forward to the footballer game?
Very much so. I was wondering why I'd have been invited back. I'm guessing it's just because you wanted someone else to beat quite easily, Max. Is that the reason?
No, not at all. I don't know. Have you made a noise yet in this? What's your record?
I've only appeared once and got 0.
Okay, but listen. From small acorns come the giantest of oak trees, Adam, and I believe in you. Matt Jones is at the Hill Dickinson for Everton Palace, and I got that right. You okay, Matt?
Good afternoon. Yeah, very well, thank you.
What's your footballer game record, please?
I don't think I've played before. I think this might be my debut, so you'll have to go lightly on me.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, all you need to know is shout if you think you know the answer, and if you don't make any noise, it's totally fine. The awkward dead air is something I live for. Perry, are you with us, Perry?
Hello, boys. Can you hear me loud and clear from Villa Park?
Loud and clear, yes. Yeah. What's coming up in your excellent programme?
Well, it is actually called now... I think it's GameDay Live, Max. It's GameDay Live.
You don't seem sure, Perry.
Well, I don't know if it's Sunday session around the ground, but it's definitely Sunday GameDay Live. So we've got regular updates from all the 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Sam's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Vikings against the Browns. Review of yesterday's Premier League games. Preview of Brentford Man City. And we haven't even got time for Men in Black. That's how busy this show's going to be.
Are you serious? Wow, and how many... do you want time? Because you could do 1 to 1:30 if you want, Perry.
No, it's all right, because actually, ironically, the referees did really well yesterday and the VAR. So,
I see. So when they do well, you don't talk about them. You're part of the problem.
Yeah, we just pile on. That's it. We just give them loads of criticism. Yeah, exactly.
Good. I've actually started enjoying ref cam. There's something wrong with me, I think. I quite enjoyed it for the Caicedo goal. Anyway, come on. Less of this nonsense. Let's get down to some serious business. Reece joins us. Hello, Reece.
Hi.
Out of 10, how are you?
We'll go for a 5. Why not?
Let's play.
Our first footballer began his career at Christchurch in the 92-93 season with his goals and appearances not listed. He then moved to Cambridge in 93, staying until 97, scoring 4 goals in 145 games, spending 7 games on loan at Woking in the 93-94 season where he scored twice in 7. He then moved to Sunderland between 97 and 2003. It is Jody Craddock.
Thanks, everybody.
Is that bordering on favouritism? You just said everybody went Cambridge. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, if I hadn't got it, it would have been a scandal.
Pressure.
Yeah, it would have been. Okay, so that's Max 1, Barry 0, Adam 0, Matt 0, Perry 0. Noise is made by other 4 competitors. 0. And I did well. I got 3 last week, didn't we? Come on. Someone step up. Here we go, player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Nottingham Forest in 1996, staying until 2003, scoring 51 goals in 181 games. He took in loans at FC Haka for the 97-98 season, scoring 3 in 18, and scored once in 6 games on loan at Ipswich in 1999. He then moved to
Robert
West
Rosario.
No, between 03 and 07, where he scored 47 in 142. This earned him a move to Villa between 07 and 2010, where he scored 5 times in 29 games, taking in loans in 2009 at Wolves, where he didn't score in 5, and Newcastle, where he scored 5 in 15.
David Johnson.
He then moved on to Blackpool, where he scored 5 goals.
Charlie Adams.
Nope. between 2010 and 2011, taking in a loan at Barnsley, where he scored 4 in 10 in 2011. He also spent some time in China, Guangzhou RNF, scoring 4 goals in 10 games. That was also in 2011. Back to Forest for the 11-12 season, where he didn't score in 4 games before moving to Barnsley for the 12-13 season.
Jason Lee?
No, where he scored twice in 32 games. Then off to Bristol City, where he scored once in 12 for the 13-14 season. Then off to Hartlepool, where he scored 6 in 53 for the 14-15 season, before finally finishing his career at Nuneaton Town in the 2015-16 season, scoring 10 goals in 38 games.
Williams?
Nope.
Ipswich, Wrexham, Villa, Wolves, Newcastle, Barnsley.
I'm enjoying
Producer
this,
Reese,
guys.
there must be another. There must be something else you can throw at us. Throw us a prop.
I've been booked. I've been booked for clues before.
Yeah, absolutely not. No clues. Yeah, listen, if we're here till 1:30, we're here till 1:30. That's the way the game works. Centre forward, played for Forest in the late 90s. Come on.
Can you run through the list of clubs again? Forest, Wrexham, Villa, Wolves.
It was Forest, where he was on loan at Hacker and Ipswich. Then went to West Ham.
Oh, West Ham. Oh, I thought you said Wrexham.
No.
That's what threw me.
Yeah.
That's
the only thing that's preventing. So now that I have this vital piece of information, so Forest, West Ham, Villa, Wolves, Newcastle.
Yep.
And then who was between Newcastle and Guangzhou?
Blackpool permanently and Barnsley on loan.
Right.
If that helps.
And it isn't Charlie Adam.
It is not Charlie Adam, no.
It's not Charlie
Marlon Harewood.
It's not Marlon.
It's Marlon Harewood.
Yes, well done.
Very good.
Well done.
Come on.
Well done.
I pretend I'm not bothered, Max, but I am. Trust me.
Well, honestly, you've got us all out of a hole there, Perry. So look, with apologies to Marlon Harewood, it is Max 1, Perry 1, Barry, Matt, Madam 0. Let's go with player 3.
Our final footballer began his career at Norwich in '94, staying until 2001, not scoring in any of his 195 appearances. Also taking in a couple of loans. In '96, he was loaned to
Brian
Bournemouth.
Gunn.
No,
Angus Gunn.
Nope, he didn't score in 11 games. And on Ipswich, also in '96, where he didn't score in any of his 5 appearances. He then went to Ipswich between 2001 and 2004, where he didn't score in any of his 53 appearances. Also taking in a short loan at Wolves and being loaned to Millwall, where he didn't score in any of his 7 games in 2004. He moved to Millwall permanently in '04, staying until '06, where he didn't score in 60 games. He was then off to Coventry between '06 and '09, where he didn't score in 59 games. Before moving to Villa between 2009 and 2013.
Andy Marshall.
It is Andy Marshall.
Yes. I had Ian Marshall. I had the Marshall, but I just couldn't remember it. Who was that? Was that you, Perry?
No.
That was you, Adam.
It was Adam.
Sorry. Well done, Adam.
I wonder if their lines have dropped off. I know I had problems.
Yeah. Oh, well done. Well done. That's a good football. I enjoyed that one. So, look, it was a tough game. It's a draw with two losses. Max 1, Adam 1, Perry 1, Matt 0. Matt, are you there, Matt?
I am here. I feel like my knowledge has let me down.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen, you've got to be in it to win it, or in it to just be here. Taking part is everything. Barry 0 too.
I've no recollection of Andy Marshall whatsoever.
Right. But he is your biggest fan.
I presume
very
so.
awkward.
Sorry, Andy.
Very awkward. That's okay. We'll get team news from you lads in just a second. So, go and have a cup of tea.
Ian's been in touch to say, I've been yelling Marlon Harewood at the gym for the last 5 minutes, getting lots of dodgy looks. Yeah, I think that probably would get you kicked out of the gym, just randomly shouting Marlon Harewood.
Max, hi there. Max is Iranian hairdresser here. I talk. The man doesn't shut up. Oh, I used to present on TV. Oh, guess the attendance is on the radio. Oh, I know Trevor Nelson. Such a loser, says this one. John says, thanks for mentioning the Wolves-Brighton game. John, the Wolves fan sitting by the pool in Crete. Our apologies, John. We didn't get round
John,
to
you're
everything.
sitting poolside in Crete. Just enjoy yourself. You're having a good day.
Stop complaining. Kevin Day will join us in just a second. We'll do some Crystal Palace. Good afternoon all, Max and Barry with you until 1:30 on talkSPORT. Kevin Day in just a second to do a bit of Palace before that. Who's that goal gone to? Ian Abrahams at Portman Road.
Ipswich 1, Norwich 0, 10 to the break, and it's been scored by Cedric Kipre. It was a corner on the far side, headed down by the skipper Dara O'Shea, and there was Kipre 8 yards out to smash the ball past the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Philogene earlier had a goal to sit out for a very, very negligent foul by Hurst on Darling, but now Ipswich do have their lead, and hopefully the game will open up. It's live on talkSPORT 2, and it's Ipswich 1, Norwich 0.
Cheers, Moose. So Crystal Palace take their unbeaten record to Everton's shiny new stadium. And we can talk to comedian and Palace fan Kevin Day. Hey, Kevin.
You kept Ipswich and Norwich fans on tenterhooks there, didn't you?
Oh, didn't we just?
I did.
Yeah, there were people driving down the motorway saying, "Tell us the score." Never mind the ad. Tell us the score.
Well, everyone else has criticised me today, Kevin. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before you do, so I might as well upset everyone in East Anglia by saying they don't have much excitement in their lives. That's why we kept them on tenterhooks.
Hey, and hold the phone. There's been another goal at Portman Road. Ian Abrahams.
Ipswich 1, Norwich 1. The goal has been scored. It was a deflected effort by Oscar Shamartau, and it was another corner actually on the far side. It not properly cleared by Ipswich. Came out to him on the edge of the penalty area, and he's hit a shot with his left foot, and it's been deflected. I'm trying to see which defender it's come off. It's probably the skipper actually, O'Shea. Either that or the goal scorer, Kipre, one of the two. But what I can tell you is Ipswich's lead lasted just about enough time for you to introduce my friend Kevin Day. It's alive on talkSPORT 2. Ipswich 1, Norwich 1.
Just for your information, Moose, it was his right foot, and what a fine shot it was.
Well, you've told the Moose. Anyway, your friend Kevin, and he's not talking to you. Kevin Day's here. Your friend, the Moose. Yes, Kevin.
Now Ipswich fans are really cross because you say you made us wait 4 minutes for our goal. Norwich fans got their goal within 15 seconds. He's a good lad. The Moose, he interviewed me on the Palace UEFA demonstration, and I have to say, quite the crowd gathered because when word got round that I was being interviewed by the Moose, and it wasn't me they were interested in, they were all gathered, old men of a certain age, shuffling around to see their broadcasting hero.
It's like the Pied Piper. Amazing.
Look, hey, look, either that or his gravity just attracts people in. I don't know how it works.
It swung past and flew to Croydon. Palace are good, aren't they, Kevin? I don't know why we've got you on. It's much more fun when you're either furious with UEFA or you're furious because Palace aren't doing much. But what run you're on?
I think Barry will understand this, but these are bad times to a pessimistic Palace fan.
Yeah.
It's reached a stage where when Sosa got sent off in Europe, I was like, yes, finally, come on, wheels are coming off. now we know where we stand. As each week goes by, I literally don't know how to react. Essentially, it's just these. I think the Liverpool game was the one. We've got such a bad record against Liverpool at home, and that's because in the last 10 times we played them, we haven't tried to beat them. And this time, new enthusiasm, new energy, new manager. We set out to try and beat them. We deservedly beat that. That seemed to me to indicate that there's something is happening at Palace. Actually, I've never known at half time. I've never known a more excited atmosphere at Sellers Park than during that game against Liverpool. That was just all of us looking at each other, just trying to work out what the blinking hell was going on.
Yeah, and presumably you go, Elise goes, you think, okay, well, that's that then. And then, Eze goes, you go, well, it's impossible to replace players of that quality. And yet it doesn't, obviously you miss someone like that. He's so brilliant. We know how brilliant he is. But for it to keep working must be very odd.
I think Elise going, with hindsight, I think Elise was irreplaceable. I think Eze going was disappointing, really. We got a lot of money for Eze. He's an older player, and it turns out, unusually, the person we got in to replace him turns out to be really good. That doesn't normally happen with Palace. We normally throw a load of names at a wall chart and see what happens, and one or two of them are all right. But he looks really good, and it's just carried on business as normal with that. The thing with Eze is he's a brilliant player. He's a genius player. He's a perfect fit for Arsenal. There were times when Glasner would get frustrated with him because Glasner's all about the team. He's all about the style of play, and every now and again it would slow down with Eze. The ball would get to Eze, and he would do something that really excited Palace fans, but he clearly hadn't done what he was told to do. Having said that, he's one of the best players we've ever had. And he won us the FA Cup. So yeah, he was a big miss, but it looks like the players we brought in are equally as good.
Has the anger over being dumped out of the Europa League subsided in any way? And has anyone at Palace come around to the view that, you know what, we probably have a better chance of winning the Conference League? We have a very good chance of winning the Conference League. Or am I talking through my hat?
No, I think the anger's almost become cartoon anger, Barry, in a way. It's like the other night, there was a wonderful moment when 15 minutes in, I don't know if you heard, there's Palace fans were singing the usual rude word songs about UEFA, and voice came over the tannoy saying, this is UEFA speaking, we urge Crystal Palace fans to support their team with positive vibes. At which moment the entire Palace end started singing do positive vibes do. I think
sorry, Kevin, is that exactly, sorry, did that actually happen?
Yeah. They made an announcement saying, please support your team with positive vibes.
Amazing.
I don't think that anger will subside, Barry, because it did take the edge off of someone. But you're absolutely right. We are coming round to the belief that we're probably in a tournament that we're more able to win. I think we're certainly seeing more obscure parts of Europe than we maybe would have done. As indeed, to be fair, are teams from Finland and Cyprus, who we're really looking forward to seeing their reaction when they go, look, Thornton Heath. It's very close to London. There'll be bars, there'll be cafes there, won't they? So, but yeah, it has diminished to an extent, Barry. It certainly has, and I think the further we go into the competition, it is becoming fun now. To be honest, the anti-UEFA thing. I think. If we hadn't got past Fredrikstad, then it wouldn't be fun. But yes, it has gone down a little bit. Yeah,
make it sound like you were just playing Frederick's dad. And I know the Conference League is small, but that is.
Well, do you know what? That's
good. It's quite a good draw, actually, when you think about it.
I've always had this argument that the more middle class a Palace fan is, the more entitled he is, and the more he'll moan about various things, even though these are the best times of their life. But there are one or two Palace fans, and it just gets really annoying because you go, well, Fredrikstad, and they go, it's Fredrikstad. It's not Lublin, it's Lublin. You go, yeah, maybe Lublin, but Lublin and Dublin rhyme. So for the purposes of fact, we get to Lublin and Dublin. It's Fredrikstad.
Well, I would argue, Kevin, that this callous disregard for attention to detail.
Well, yeah. Again, entirely ignored. Of oversight was apparently not. Yeah, right. Do you know what? I'm in such a good mood about football that normally I get everything Barry says in my head. I'm mentally puzzling. Is he taking the mickey? And now I'm just going, yeah, Barry's good, isn't he?
Well, you're the first person this morning in almost 2 hours to say that or think it. Thank you.
No, Barry, you're a great broadcaster, Barry. You're
Let's not go too far. He does a job.
As a sidekick, is that what you're saying? He does a job as a sidekick.
He does a job. Yeah. Holds it up, lays it off. As a pessimist, as a Palace pessimist, are you looking at Everton away going, oh, this is the one? Or do you go thinking, oh, we'll probably win this?
No, I'd never think that we'll probably win any game. I think Jack Grealish is... I know a lot of people say Granit Xhaka is the best transfer business of the summer. I think Jack Grealish was a fantastic piece of transfer business. And I think if he plays in the middle, because the other lads... Everton's always going to be a difficult place to go. It's one of those things, isn't it? If you're a West Ham fan, you think... We got rid of David Moyes, and now we've recruited the Portuguese David Moyes. So they might be more happy. But Moyes is always going to be a good man. His teams are going to be difficult to beat. If we can go into the international break still unbeaten, then that's going to be fantastic. The only trouble is we're doing a marathon march next week, 26-mile walk for Palace for Life. Normally, we get ourselves through the 8 hours of the walk by moaning about Palace. If we're still unbeaten this time next time, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to start talking about feelings and family, and that's not good.
Dangerous path. Yeah. As we say a lot on this station, on this show, men, don't talk about your feelings. It's a disaster. Presumably information about that walk, and if people want to raise money, it's on your social media stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Type in Kevin Day. We'll find it and we'll retweet it and Blue Sky it, whatever you're on in just a second. Thanks, Kev. Enjoy the game.
Thank you,
guys. Take care, boys.
Good stuff. Kevin Day there. Let's. We'll talk to Jake Robertson about the Singapore Grand Prix in a second. Before that, another goal at Portman Road. Ian Abrahams.
Ipswich 2, Norwich 1. I defy anybody to see a better goal in any league this season than this one from Jaden Philogene. He's picked the ball up 30-40 yards out from goal inside the Norwich half after a mistake in the middle of the park by one of the Norwich players. He stepped forward 3 or 4 paces, and from the best part of 30 yards out, left-footed, he's absolutely leathered it past the goalkeeper. It kissed the underside of the crossbar as it went in to make it look even more spectacular. And Jaden Philogene, who scored plenty of decent goals already this season for Ipswich, has just scored the best of the lot. We're into added time at the end of the first half. It's live on talkSPORT 2. What a goal. Ipswich 2, Norwich 1.
Thanks. Dan says the Moose deserves a statue outside talkSPORT Tower as the most underrated reporter alive today. Blimey, with that a compliment for Barry. Steady. Let's all just steady on. Good stuff from the Moose there. We'll get team news from the 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League in just a second. Hi, good afternoon. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. So, for 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, at Aston Villa, Everton, at Newcastle, and at Wolves, and we'll get team news from all those games. Right now, let's begin at Villa Park, then Villa versus Burnley. Abigail Davids and Perry Groves there for talkSPORT.
Yeah, Aston Villa unbeaten in their last 16 Premier League matches against newly promoted sides, and this afternoon looking to make it 4 wins on the spin in all competitions. 3 changes for them this afternoon. Martinez continues between the sticks. Digne, Torres, Conter and Cash make up the back line. Bogarde and McGinn sit in front of them, with Rodgers, Marlon and Kamara in support of Ollie Watkins. As for Burnley, they're yet to pick up a point on the road this season and have the joint second worst defence in the Premier League. 1 change to their side and back line as former Villa man Twanzebe comes in. They line up with Dubravka in goal, Hartman, Esteve, Twanzebe, Lauren and Walker, the back 5. Florentino and Cullen in the middle, with Anthony and Chona out wide, with Foster leading the line. Perry Groves has gone to grab food. We'll have a word from him in a little while, but it's Villa against Burnley from 2 p.m. here at Villa Park.
Absolute lack of professionalism there from Groves. Unless, Abigail, of course, he's offered to get you food as well, or is he just sorting himself out?
He's brought sweets. I'll leave it at that, but he has brought sweets with him.
OK, fair enough. Thanks, Abigail. Let's go to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton, Crystal Palace, Matt Jones and Charlie Adam there for talkSPORT.
2 changes made by Everton, one of them enforced as they look to end a 3-match winless run. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall is suspended after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season, so he's replaced by Tyler Dibbling. That's him making his first Premier League start for the Toffees, and Tiano Barry is up front as well. David Moyes going on the hunt for goals. Barry hasn't started a league game since late August, but is preferred to Beto. So Everton have Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane and Mikolenko are across the back. Garner and Gay will be the 2 holding midfielders, then Ndiaye, Dibbling and Grealish supporting Barry up top. As for Palace, well, they revert to the team that beat Liverpool 2-1 in the league last week. That means Tariq Mitchell and Ismail Assar both return, having been on the bench in Europe in midweek. Borna Souza and Will Hughes, the 2 players to miss out from that Dynamo Kiev victory. So Henderson is in goal. The back 5, Munoz, Richards, Lacroix, Gehi and Mitchell, Wharton and Kamada. Then the holding midfielders with Sarr, Pino and Mateta up front. It's Everton against Palace from 2 o'clock.
I mean, I hear Matt Murray has a late replacement for Charlie Adam. Is Matt next to you, or are you, has he got to get food like Perry?
I think he's getting food as well, but he will be here very shortly, don't you worry.
OK, good stuff. Look, it'll be interesting to see Tyler Dibbling, won't it, make his first start?
It will, because Everton fans are hoping a lot of him, really, after the money that was splashed out. Obviously came here with a little bit of an injury concern and has been getting used to the Everton way of playing. But him and Jack Grealish in a kind of 3 attacking midfielders behind Barry is a really enticing prospect, and they should be able to create a load of chances with Ndiaye alongside them as well. So, you know, they have struggled for goals this season, Everton, particularly here. There was that 0-0 draw against Villa a few weeks ago, only 1-1, I say only, against West Ham last week. But with those 4 in the side, you feel they should have more than enough to create chances.
Thanks, Matt. Let's go to St James's Park. Big game for Newcastle. Huge game for Ange Postecoglou and Nottingham Forest. Steve Harmison there for talkSPORT. Hey, Harmy.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Max. Sorry, mate. Ange Postecoglou has made. Sorry, man. I got a bit distracted there. Ange Postecoglou has only. He's only been in charge for 6 games, Max, but already the pressure is mounting. No wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws is the record you don't want to be coming to St James's Park with, and some section of the Forest fans are already calling for his head. He's made 4 changes from the defeat to FC Midtjylland in midweek. Savona, Yates, Wood and Cunha come in. Hudson-Odoi, Murillo, Sangari and Jesus come out. As for Newcastle, they got 4 goals in the Champions League in midweek, and that's a massive boost, as goals have been hard to come by for the Geordies in the Premier League. Only 4 in 6 games. Eddie Howe names an unchanged side from the win in Belgium. The visitors, Sells in goal, a back 3 of Milenkovic, Morata and Cunha. Williams and Savona is the wing-backs with Yates and Elliot Anderson returning to St James's Park, holding midfield players with Gibbs White and Odoi either side of another returning former Newcastle player in Chris Wood. Newcastle have Pope in goal, Trippier, Chow, Botman and Byrne at the back, Tonali, Ramirez and Joe Linton as the 3 midfielders, with Ngala and Gordon either side of Nick Woldemar. This game kicks off at a sunshine St James's Park at 2 p.m.
Good stuff, Army. Let's go to Adam Bridge, who's at Molineux for Wolves Brighton.
Wolves' start to the season as horrific as last season. In fact, it's identical. No win in their first 6 Premier League games. He made 9 changes last week against Spurs. Just the one today. Doherty's out. Chachua is in, so it's Johnson in goal. Chachua, Bueno, Krejci and Bueno across the back. Munetsi, Andre and Gomez in midfield with Arias, Strand Larsen and Hwang up top. As for Brighton, such is the expectation. It's their worst start to a Premier League campaign for 5 years. They make 3 changes today. Veltman, Mitoma and Rutera out. Wiefer, Gruder and Welbeck come in. So Verbruggen's in goal. It's Wiefer, Van Hecke, Dunk and Kadioglu across the back. Minte, Baliba, Ayari, Gruder and Gomez in midfield, with Danny Welbeck returning to lead the line. We're underway at Molineux under dark skies at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
It's the Singapore Grand Prix. It starts in about 2 minutes. Jake Robson's been watching for talkSPORT.
An intriguing prospect in store, as it's been lightly raining in Singapore as well, leaving about a third of the track wet and the rest dry. Perhaps some comfort to the drivers in what is the most gruelling race on the calendar. Temperatures inside the cockpit regularly topping 60 degrees C and humidity up to 90%. George Russell starts from pole. He has a notoriously feisty Max Verstappen alongside him. All eyes on the first corner then. Championship leader Oscar Piastri goes from third with his teammate Lando Norris back in fifth. 25 points still split the pair at the top of the drivers' standings with just 7 races remaining. Lewis Hamilton will go from 6th. One other point of note is that McLaren can claim a 10th Constructors' title this afternoon. Such has been their dominance this season. The team need to just score 13 points. As you said, lights out at 1 p.m.
Let's go to the Moose half-time in the East Anglian derby between Ipswich and Norwich.
Ipswich 2, Norwich 1. Ipswich ahead through Cedric Kipre, who thundered home from about 8 yards out after Darrow Shea nodded down the corner. But that lead was quickly snuffed out when Oscar Shuatu had a shot from just outside the penalty area from a Norwich corner, deflected slightly beyond Alex Palmer. But then Ipswich reclaimed the lead right on half-time with the individual brilliance from Jaden Philogene. Picking the ball up midway inside the Norwich half, he advanced 3 or 4 steps and unleashed what can only be described as an unstoppable shot which kissed the underside of the bar as it flew into the back of the net. A slow burner to start with, but boy, did the second half of the opening half really give us some drama. Ipswich 2, Norwich 1. The second half is live on talkSPORT 2.
Thanks, Moose. Yeah, some finish from Philogene, and second half will be good on talkSPORT 2 if you've had enough of us. If you haven't, Matt Ford, comedian, broadcaster, Nottingham Forest fan, will come on and we'll do a bit of Ange with him.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across the social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good afternoon. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Then it's Game Day Live. Keep you across all the 2 o'clock kickoffs and Brentford Man City at 4:30 as well as the East Anglian Derby. That's over on talkSPORT 2 at the moment. Ipswich 2-1 up on Norwich City. Singapore Grand Prix as well. Jake Robson keeping you across that. But right, let's do a bit of Forest. They go to St James's Park. Ange Postecoglou still in search of his first win. Let's hear how he's feeling about everything.
I get it, and I think it's a valid sort of assumption in modern football that there's always a manager under pressure, and that's just part and parcel of what we do. But I don't think that way. I knew I was getting sacked at Tottenham about 3 or 4 months before I did. It didn't stop me winning something. It doesn't enter my head. My responsibility lies in making sure this football club progresses and gets to a position where it can challenge for things. And if I start putting timelines to that or worrying about, what's going to happen next week, then I'm sort of not performing the role that I've been sort of given in terms of that. And I just don't think it's helpful to anyone. At the end of the day, things I control are the environment, the training, the way we play. And as I said last night, I'm still very, very strong in my belief that we're not too far away.
There's always a manager under pressure, and that manager is always Ange Postecoglou. Let's talk to Matt Ford, Forest fan, comedian, broadcaster. Hey, Ford, are you okay?
I'm good, thanks. I think I'm good. I feel good. Yeah. I'm all right.
I mean, Fordy, you're one of the most optimistic, cheerful people I know, whether it's in the face of illness, whether it's in the face of England going out. Do you of what opinion.
Mixed, isn't it? Because Betis away was phenomenal, and some of the players. I mean, Elliot Anderson seems to just improve on a weekly basis. There is exceptional talent in that side, and I totally understand that the relationship with Nuno was beyond repair, so he had to go. And if you're looking for someone who can win the Europa League, then there's a logic to apply to appointing Ange Postecoglou. So it's not that there aren't reasons to be positive or rational about it. It's just obviously the results really matter. And the nature of the performances since Ange came in, I mean, Betis away actually was superb, and there were positives to take out the Burnley game as well. So it's not all been bad. It's just, I don't know. You can't argue with the results, can you? That's the problem.
But I mean, Fordy, I thought you were pretty unlucky against Sunderland. I say this as a Sunderland fan. You were the better team by far, and we scored from a free kick that we shouldn't have got. So there have been positive signs.
Yes. Yeah, and it's not all... I mean, let's just see what happens today. I think today is so crucial, really, is the manner of the performance and whatever the outcome is. But it's just, obviously, it's so hard as a fan to know that a change needed to happen. And when you qualified for Europe and you just want it all to keep flying, you know, we had such an amazing season last season. And the owner is obviously impatient for success, and I think that is marvellous because really it's him that's got us where we are. So I think the fans now are more on board with the ownership than they've been under previous owners, and maybe even 2 or 3 years ago. So we totally understand that the logic of how we've ended up here. It's immensely frustrating that the results aren't coming.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have to end though, isn't it? I mean, like it had to end because of people's egos, right? It didn't have to end. Like Nuno is what? Is he the most successful manager since Clough? I can't think of anyone in between.
Maybe Frank Clark. Frank Clark got us third.
Yeah, okay, Frank Clark in the sort of that's the sort of Collymore, Brian Roy years type thing.
Yeah,
but
30 years
yeah,
ago.
So that's a long time ago. It just sort of, it's when you sit down and you predict your Premier League, table and what's going to happen, and then you can't go, oh, well, in 10 weeks Nuno will be managing West Ham, and someone would look at you like you were completely mad.
Yeah, but you know what? I think, and I think Forest fans are particularly susceptible to this. We have a very romantic view of football, predominantly based on Brian Clough, and football has changed, and it is more chaotic. And we can sort of pretend that it's not and wish that we still lived in the 90s, or you just accept that. You cannot really... Nuno was going out there slagging off his employers, so that's very hard for any employer to maintain that relationship, I think. As much as I really respect what Nuno achieved and enjoyed watching it, that relationship had clearly broken down. So then it's about what happens next. And I still believe that with the talent we've got, with the ownership of the club, the ambition and everything else, the investment, that this season and this camp, it's very early still in this season, whether Ange stays or whether it's someone else. But I think it's just frustrating, obviously, that all those years in the Championship, you think you're going nowhere, then all of a sudden you're in Europe. And I was in Spain the other week watching us play away. I just never believed I would witness that in my life. And then, you're at the City Ground on Thursday and people are singing you're getting sacked in the morning, which, I don't know. Whatever we think of our managers and the performances, they're still human beings. And I did feel for him in that moment. I thought that was really quite a hard thing to witness, as much as I understood the frustration.
And I love Ange, right? And for many reasons, right? I'm in Australia, and they absolutely adore this guy. And actually,
I love him. I live on the other side of the planet.
Yeah. From where he's come from, to where he is actually pretty astonishing. And as a Spurs fan as well, to see him win a trophy, and I loved that. And I was sort of, as Barry said, I was like the last man on the Titanic. I was the string quartet on the Titanic for Ange. But at least, Tottenham fans had like those first 10 games where they won 8 and drew 2. And they were sort of, hanging on to this going, look, we've had this. To not have that at the start feels like an issue, right? And you're right, it is early and any manager needs time. And if he is to change how you play, and by all accounts, Nuno had sort of changed it slightly at the start of the season anyway. But if he is to do that, you do need to afford him some time.
I mean, that is true. I mean, the Brentford game, obviously, everyone knows that last season we played with basically 3% possession and qualified for Europe. The Brentford game, the first home game, you could see actually we were dominating the ball a bit more. So there was an acceptance, even from Nuno, that had to change because the teams had figured us out anyway. And when Nuno took over from Steve Cooper, he didn't implement that immediately. He made us slightly more defensive, but you do need a pre-season to fully implement a change in philosophy. I mean, what am I talking about? I'm a fan. I don't understand this stuff, but I listen to other people who do understand it, and I repeat what they say on programmes like this.
Don't give away our secrets, Matt. Matt, you mentioned Elliot Anderson there. He's going back to Newcastle today, a club that didn't want to sell him, but kind of had their hand forced by PSR. He's having a remarkable season. Can you see him playing himself into the England World Cup starting 11?
I actually think after Kane, he's the first name on the team sheet. Wow. I would pick him over Bellingham. I just think he is. Every once in a while, a player comes along like him who... and obviously, Gascoigne is the one that my generation will cling to. And then you could maybe say that Joe Cole had a bit of that, or Foden when he was first coming through. Those players that just have that amazing touch and drive and that positivity about them and that flair. And they are so unusual on this island. And we've got one. And you just think, for all the other stuff that England require, he is probably the most exciting English player at the moment. So I think he starts... hopefully against Wales on Thursday night. If he carries on the way he's going, I mean, even since last season, his touch is unbelievable. And the way he can just drift around players, his final ball, I mean, his consistency as well. He's a genius.
Yeah. And what would you... So, because... Does he sit, though? Because he did when he played, it did feel like he gave the other midfielders, like, the freedom ahead of him.
Yeah, and he's creative and he can score. Yeah. He can do everything. I mean, you know what? If it came to it, stick him in goal. There's nothing this boy can't do. In fact, maybe after today he'll be player manager. He is that good.
I love this. By the end of this chat, Nottingham Forest have won the Premier League for you. I love it. And all is good with you, Matt? Everything is good with you?
Yes, health-wise, all good. My last scan was clear, and I'm off on tour next year. January to June, my new show, Defying Calamity, which I talk about the cancer thing a little bit, but also chuck in a few impressions. And mattford.com for all your ticketing needs.
And actually, you're very positive about football. Are you positive about the world? Because sometimes when I'm doom scrolling, I'm not totally positive, Matt.
Well, as with football, I think most people are good. So I think even if sometimes the people in charge have not been great, I still think... like, for humanity as a whole, most people want to live in peace and harmony and health and prosperity. And without sounding like a hippie, that is the sort of thing that has always saved our species in the past. And when you think of all the things that our fellow human beings have done, whether it's pharmaceutical advancement or science or solving the climate thing or just brokering peace, you know, most people just want to have fun and enjoy their lives. And I tell you what, this is going to sound so mad. Being at those Oasis gigs over the summer, which was just total escapism and euphoria, you thought, Britain used to feel like this all the time. This was the norm. We used to get out of bed in the 90s and every day felt like an Oasis gig. Now, I may be misremembering ways of that decade, but I've convinced myself that's what life used to be like, and I feel like we need that feeling back. Most people...
I thought you said about 10 minutes ago, we can't just live in the 90s, but actually, I think you're absolutely right, Fordy. Lovely to chat, as always.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Take it easy. Matt Ford there, Forest fan. And yes, follow him on social media and go and watch him on tour next year. His show will be brilliant. Guess the attendance is next. Max and Barry with you on the warm-up with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app to Justin Morehouse and guest the attendance in just a second. Before that, at the latest from Portman Road, Ipswich, Norwich and the East Anglian derby in Abrahams.
An hour gone, still Ipswich 2, Norwich 1, but Ipswich on the attack at the moment. Maybe a shot from the edge of the area is blocked. They've had the best chance in the second half as well, Ipswich. Good ball down the right-hand side, played in towards George Hurst, 7-8 yards out. Really should have scored. Tame effort straight at the goalkeeper. At the other end, Josh Sargent inches away from getting a header on goal to test Alex Palmer. Don't forget, we've got Marcelino Nunez on the bench. He signed for Ipswich from Norwich earlier this season. Wouldn't it be just funny if he came on and scored? Not for Norwich, obviously. It's live on talkSPORT 2, Ipswich 2, Norwich 1.
Let's play Guess the Attendance today. Top journalist Barry Glendenning takes on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome, Justin.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. What am I? I'm sort of betwixt two trips to sort of east and the north of the country. I was in Stockton-upon-Tees last night, and I came home, and tonight I'm in Barton-upon-Humber, which is the first thing you get to at the end of the Humber Bridge.
Okay, right.
Full side, yeah. Bit of local for you there. It's always good fun.
Geography.
Yeah, do you know what? I should probably use this opportunity I have every single week on national radio.
Yeah.
Speaking to the kind of demographic of people that come to watch comedy nights to kind of push my own stuff, but can't be asked.
No, that's okay. You don't have to.
I'd rather they come to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to beg.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. And, you know, some listeners would say that anyone who likes comedy has deserted this show many years ago, Justin. Hey, let's start at Elland Road, shall we? Leeds 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Thomas Bramall of Sheffield refereed this game. Deflected goals, both deflected off Pascal Struijk. Matthias Tell and Mohamed Kudus giving Tottenham perhaps a streaky win, but a win all the same to take them into the top
Luck does
four.
strike twice.
It did.
Luck strikes twice.
But how many were there, Justin?
I was diverted past Elland Road last night because the M62 M1 junction was snarly. I think Leeds is always full, and I think their capacity is around...
Yeah.
Like a classic top division number from the 80s, 36,000.
36,000. Barry Glendenning, same question to you.
36,001 people.
36,703. It is a first point for Barry Glendenning. If I look at the statistics, Barry hasn't gone one up in Guess the Attendance since the 3rd of January 1987. So this is a big moment. Can he capitalise on it?
Somebody could be cutting their hair.
Tim Robinson, the former England cricketer, England opener from West Sussex, refereed Millwall 3, West Brom 0. Cooper, Aziz and Sturge with the goals. But how many were there at the New Den to watch Millwall beat West Brom? Barry?
I have a feeling Millwall's average attendance is about 15,000, which seems on the low side. But I'm going to go with my gut, which is almost always wrong and a bad decision. 15,000.
The Barry Glendenning gut says 15,000. Justin.
Who were the scorers? Cooper,
Aziz and Sturge.
Does sound like a prog rock band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great whistle test. That's Cooper, Aziz and Sturge there with Cascadian Rhythms of Afghanistan. I think Barry's completely underplayed this.
Yeah, probably.
Because I went 1-0 down, I'm going to showboat. I think he's about 4,000. I'm going to just say 17,000. I'm going to showboat.
Okay, it's a mini showboat. 17,865. This text.
That's a nice.
This text says, "Please just change the name of the game to higher or lower, or actually try and guess the attendance." This may be the old boss of talkSPORT who used to text me about how much he hated this, or it's just someone else. We've tried it. It involves maths. I don't have time. I'm not Jeff Peters. I can't do it. It's just the price is right. How much is the fridge? Enjoy the game. That's how it works. People like it, so just live with it.
Our audience are very chippy today.
They've been very chippy today.
Just wait till they find out about Tosh the Coin. That starts next week.
Let's go to the tough sheet. We knew someone was going to do the gag. I'll leave it to you, Justin. Seb Stockbridge of Newcastle upon Tyne refereed this game. A brace for Mr. Burstow. Gave Bolton the win. But I don't understand, says this text. Bolton 2, Peterborough 1. How many were there, Justin?
12,000. Make it funny, Barry.
12,001.
20,336. Bolton, Justin.
They got in my head.
They did get in your head, didn't they?
Callers get in my head.
They're outside your window. You know, Bolton's outside your front door.
Yeah, and also, just so people know, I don't get paid for this. So don't come at me, right? Yeah, come at Barry, come at Max, don't come at me. This is community work. This is what I do.
Let's go to the Cladara Abbey Stadium. Cambridge United 3, Crawley Town 1. Shane Lavery putting Cambridge on the way to a 3-1 win. Pelly, Ruddock and Panzu and Kouassi as well with the goals. But how many were there at the Abbey? Carl Brook of Lincolnshire reffed it. How many were there? Justin. No, Barry.
6,121.
6,121.
6,120.
6,607, a win for Barry Glendenning. The listeners got in Justin's heads, and we finish just for the illegal betting markets overseas.
This is why I don't promote my own shows on this show.
Right.
Because I don't want the mealy-mouthed texters to come in. People sit there, these people are lost since points of view went off the screens.
Let's go to Tannadice. Let's go to Tannadice.
Yeah,
Dundee
go to
United
Tannadice, that's what I say. Stick it up your Tannadice.
Dundee United 1. Livingston 1. Duncan Nicholson of Glasgow refereed the game. But how many were at Tannadice, Justin?
Who cares? 7,500.
7,500. Barry?
7,499.
8,146.
Oh, look,
final score.
Look, even that, I'm down, I'm losing, but I just pull that out of the bag. An absolute
Barry
pearler.
3, Justin 2. Thank you, Justin.
Class all the way through. Class.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you. And to our cheerful listeners.
Our cheerful listeners, to everyone who worked on the show, how wonderful everyone is. I believe, like Matt Ford, in humanity and Game Day Live.
Oh, we'll soon knock that out of you.